You're listening to the Platte River Bard.
All right, hello, and welcome to the Platte River Bard. This is Chris Berger.
And I'm Sherry Berger.
And we are here today with Bratyon Matuska, Kiley Melean, Evan Peterson, Leticia Taveras, and they are all a part of the Musical Theater Senior Showcase from Creighton. That's going to be at the Lade Center for the Performing Arts on the main stage, April 28th and 29th at 7 p.m. And every single one of us is here, and I bet I screwed up somebody's name by the looks on your faces. No, I did it right. It's a rare feat for me to get everybody's name right all in one go. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Everybody's here. Of course, we're doing this virtually. And thank you so much for wanting to talk to us.
Yes, thank you. Well, you've been working on this showcase for a while.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about this showcase? Does it happen every year? How did you get chosen?
So this is actually the first time we're doing this new format recently. Creighton usually does senior recitals and does solo showcases. And it more follows a typical music major's background, and that's typically what more music majors do. Okay. But in today's age of college musical theater, senior showcases are the way to go. Yeah. So our faculty proposed this idea to us in spring 22, I believe. Yeah, spring 2022. Okay. And decided they wanted us to basically kind of follow that trend that all of these bigger and the established musical theater schools are doing. So we've started working on this since August. We've started doing the planning, all from picking our material, the behind the scenes work, working with our accompanist, things like that. And it's been very busy, but very fun.
Wow. So you're all musical theater majors at Creighton?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So, Leticia, you want to tell us a little bit about you and like what you chose to do on this showcase and what you're planning on doing with your degree?
I'm from the Dominican Republic.
Oh.
So it's been very interesting. I mean, so fun, but of course, deciding to study musical theater in the US, coming from as a full-on international student, it's been very rewarding. Cool. So basically, I did 9 years of conservatory in the Dominican Republic, and I also did some workshops in New York. And then I decided to come to Creighton because I wanted the whole 4 years. And you might be like, isn't that the way it goes? But the thing is, I feel like people have this preconception that when you study musical theater, you have to go to a conservatory and just study the full-on 2 years and then just go to New York and do great things, which we all, at least I will, try to go to New York and pursue this career. But I wanted something that would give me options. And I think that's been the best gift that Creighton has given me is the fact that I feel I know a little bit about everything. And it's just such a full-on program, and we learned so many things from so many different aspects of theater. And so basically in the showcase, I'll be singing songs from West Side Story, In the Heights, songs that really honor my background, and I'm extremely happy that I'm going to be able to sing. I'm also going to belt a little bit, which is I've had this whole vocal journey, because I feel I was talking about it in rehearsal the other day. I feel I put myself in a box when I came to Creighton, and I always used to tell everyone that I was the golden age queen, that I was only gonna sing golden age songs. And then I got casted as Diana in Next to Normal, and that challenged me a lot. Yeah. And now I'm belting as well, so who knows what's gonna happen? But cool. Very happy and very excited.
That's great. Evan, how about you? What are you going to do in the showcase, and how did you get here?
So I've been kind of doing theater since I was a little kid, and then I ended up going to a summer camp and kind of found like a deeper passion for it there. And then in high school, kind of cemented that I wanted to do this full time as a career, and something I was super passionate about. So I toured a couple schools, and I got to Creighton and I toured their main stage, and I stepped on that stage and just knew that was where I wanted to be.
Cool.
And so my material for the showcase is just kind of an arc of my like theater life. I've got songs like the first song I ever performed a solo musical theater version, Corner of the Sky from Pippin, to the last song I sang at a jury for Creighton, and everything in between, and just picked material that is sentimental and meaningful to me, and that's where I pulled my material from, and that's what I'll be doing.
Wonderful.
Cool.
Brayton, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, so I'm from Mankato, Minnesota, so like 45 minutes away from Evan, but we never knew each other. And we met when we came here, so kind of crazy.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, I did theater my whole life, and in high school really fell into it. And I did speech and debate in high school too, so that kind of contributed to my love for theater and acting. And then over the past 4 years, just finding more songs and getting exposed to more shows by our faculty, and the growth of the internet over the past 4 years, especially has kind of influenced my, I guess, grouping or collection of songs that I've received. So I'll be singing a few songs that are contemporary, some golden age. So one particular song that means a lot to me is called Wall in My Head. It's from Everybody's Talking About Jamie, which was on the West End. As a LGBTQ identifying individual, it really holds a special place in my heart. So I really wanted to do that song. And then I'm also bringing in some country music into the showcase with little Josh Turner as a surprise.
All right.
You'll have to come and see that. I don't want to give any spoilers.
Heck yeah.
But yeah.
That's great. Kiley, what about you? How did you get here, and what are you doing for the showcase?
Yeah, so I'm from Chicago, and I didn't really get exposed to theater until like middle school. I was one of those kids that like had to do every hobby until I found the right one. So kind of bounced around until middle school, and then I immediately fell in love with it. So I continued on doing it through high school. Was very much of like a self-starter kid. So like once I like caught on to something, I had to hold on to it and go like 1,010%.
Awesome.
So I tried looking into like different like summer programs and voice lessons. So I started doing those throughout high school. And then I always knew during high school that I really wanted to major and pursue musical theater. So when the time came, I ended up auditioning for about 30 schools all over, mostly in the Midwest, and got into about a third of those with the musical theater programs, since musical theater programs are super competitive. And then basically a month before decision day, I did like one last tour of every school, and basically just fell in love with Creighton, not only just with their musical theater program, but just the school in general. I've always told people that ask me why I chose it, like, it's the not too big, not too school, just right kind of fit. Not like so big where I get lost in a crowd, but small enough where I kind of get to like know people. It's also like not super far away from my hometown. So I just thought it was great. And like Leticia said earlier, I just wanted to have like a liberal arts college experience. I really did not want that conservatory style, because I wanted to be able to explore different kinds of passions if I wanted to.
Cool, yeah.
And as much as I love these guys, doing 8 to 5 like theater Monday through Friday with the same people for 4 years straight probably would have driven me a little crazy.
Right.
So I like that I was able to do other classes and meet a bunch of new people. My other group of friends are like nurses, you know, so that's been great. But yeah, my showcase material is a lot of stuff we've worked on the past 4 years in my voice lessons. Again, bouncing off of Leticia, I'm on the opposite path. I grew up being the huge belter, and then I had to find my classical golden age voice. So we kind of swapped tracks there. So I'm really excited I'm singing Think of Me from The Phantom of the Opera, which if you told me 4 years ago I'd be singing that for an audience, I never would have believed myself. So that's super fun. Another song I'm really excited on singing is called I'm Breaking Down from Falsettos. Falsettos is just an amazing musical. It means a lot to me. So I knew I needed at least one song in falsettos for my rep. And it's also a comedic song, which is a side I don't really play as much, or I haven't had the opportunity to, I would say.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. And then I'm also bringing a little pop ballad, some Adele in the mix. Again, my singing style I'm most comfortable with is belting, specifically pop rock styles.
Okay.
So that just showcases like the best, like just my favorite side of me that I love to show off in that voice. So
Cool.
it's really exciting. And then, yeah, like we've all been saying, some other fun little surprises in the mix. We have some duets between us and some group numbers as well that
cool.
we've been working on. That's really exciting.
That's great.
Nice.
So tell us a little bit about the recording of this showcase. I know that I saw that you are having it recorded, and what's going to happen to that?
So basically, we decided that we wanted to record this as a way to promote ourselves and to promote the department in general. A lot of musical theater departments with bigger programs and bigger budgets, that's part of their that's basically part of their curriculum, is that they have their senior showcases and they film the whole thing, they upload it to YouTube, they send it to different casting directors, and then the performers themselves can use that as like basically their resumes for like their reels or their websites or things like that.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, we worked with Eric Griffith, who has worked with Great Plains Theater Commons before, to work on filming. So yeah, we filmed the whole showcase, which we just did last night, and it went really, really well.
Oh,
so very
excellent.
excited to see how that turns out.
Nice.
And yeah, we'll upload that to YouTube and then use the little chunks that the department will use for promoting for the musical theater major at Creighton and just overall to the national community, international community. And then we also filmed what are called like actor reels or short actor reels that were 2 to 3 minutes long, where we performed 2 songs from our rep book that we were going to sing for showcase, which kind of stood in as like something that we would send in for like an audition.
What other plans do you have after this? What's the next step
Yes.
for you all?
What's-
Leticia has something to say.
Do it.
You can call me Letty too. That works.
Okay.
Lottie?
And I
Oh,
love
like
people
that.
call me Letty because my mom's name's Leticia as well, and I always think of her. So, but yeah, plans. Since I'm from the Dominican Republic, as I said again, I feel like I'm in a little bit of like special situation. I would like to stay in the community for a little longer, just so I can like have experiences with other like amazing artists and creators, and just like hang out for a bit. I do want to go to New York or go to Madrid because my mom is Spanish as well.
Ooh.
And I had the amazing opportunity last year to workshop Hadestown in Spain.
Oh,
Because
cool.
they were thinking of like doing it there. So they did basically kind of like a trial run. So they did like a mini version of the show, and I was casted in that, and that was so amazing. So yeah, maybe New York, maybe Madrid. I don't know. I feel like something that this career has, that like it's beautiful, but sometimes can cause a little bit of like anxiety, is a little bit of like the uncertainty.
Yeah.
So right now I'm trying to like, how to like ride the wave and like
Yeah, for
learn how
sure.
to live in the chaos.
Yeah.
But I love it. I think right now I cannot tell you something specific, but I don't know. I feel good things coming our way.
Yeah. No, you definitely got an idea of what you want to do for sure, man. Curious. And I got to ask this. Before I go too. Okay, so you guys have all done musical theater for very intensively for 4 years now, and more than that. Who's got a favorite? Does anybody have a favorite musical? And it doesn't have to be one you were in. Or is that too much? Or maybe there's just like a top 3. But is there a favorite? Because some people don't have favorites, and some people
We
are like,
might have to do a top 3.
Okay, all right, top three.
I was gonna say it's always hard to
I know,
narrow
isn't
it
it, though?
down to one musical.
Yeah, it is, Evan.
I can start. I mean I can narrow it down. My favorite musical has always been Pippin.
Ah,
I've loved this show for absolutely ever. I'm singing "Corner of the Sky" like the most well-known song from that, and that's how we start our act two.
yeah.
It's the song that I first sang ever, like a musical theater song that got me into theater, and I've just always really resonated with the character and his passion and longing and drive, and not really sure what his path is, but knows that he wants to make something bigger of his life, and I've always really resonated with that. So I'd say that's my favorite.
For me, um, I really like Hadestown. I know it's a recent show,
Yeah.
but I think it's gonna stay like on my favorites forever. Like I listen to the playlist every day.
Yeah.
So I think Hadestown, again, I'm a big like golden age girl.
Sure.
So I really like the Rodgers and Hammersteins. Like I really like the classics. So I'll say like Cinderella. I'm
Cool.
yeah, I
That's
just
cool.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think my third option would be between In the Heights or Hamilton. And I feel like they both can go together because it's Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, yeah.
But I just love In the Heights. I think is a show that has really like transformed me as an artist, but also has made such a great impact like on my country and the people that to know about it, to know about like Latin Americans. So I think like those are my top three for now, but they're always changing.
Well,
so
yeah,
don't take me too seriously.
Okay.
How about you,
I'd
Kylie?
have to say top three. Falsettos has to be up there. I fell in love with Falsettos. It never gets old. I definitely have an illegal bootleg of like the PBS recording on my Google Drive. I watch every now and then. Stephanie J. Block is my role model. Gotta watch that all the time. It's just a beautiful show with just beautiful music. I can't get over it. I have fallen in love with cabaret recently. I was in Oxford for a month and I got a chance to see cabaret on the West End, and it was just, it's a story you're supposed to walk away like thinking and like,
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
and like that's just the first time I've seen cabaret where like my chest was heavy and I was just like had to like take a minute to like breathe, and I just, the visuals, like everything, love it. I love cabaret. So I was so excited when OCP said they were doing cabaret the next season.
Yes.
And then I would also probably have to say In the Heights. Love Lin-Manuel Miranda's work.
Yeah,
just
man.
the story, the whole theme of culture, just beautiful. It's just always been a dream show of mine too. So yeah, just love it.
I think Stephen Sondheim too.
Oh, yeah.
Like Into the Woods, West Side Story are shows that I didn't mention, but I think like they're so iconic. And again, I'm singing I Feel Pretty from West Side Story
Cool.
and for the showcase. And I just needed to mention that because like it's amazing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is amazing.
My three favorite musicals are
Yes.
Jesus Christ Superstar, Little Shop of Horrors, and The Last 5 Years. The Last 5 Years is Jason Robert Brown musical.
Oh,
Super good.
I have not seen that one.
I
That's
have
like a
not.
newer one or something, maybe.
It's really interesting. It's a two-person musical about a couple, married couple, kind of, but it tells the story like front and back. So one of the characters tells the story going forward, and one of the characters tells the story going backwards, and then they meet for one time in the middle of the show at their wedding, and it goes through their relationship and the relationship's downfall, sadly, and divorce. And it's supposed to be, there's some rumors that it's about Jason Robert Brown's actual marriage. So
Wow.
it's very fun,
Fun.
but also very sad.
Oh. And we are so excited for you. We love seeing young people in theater, and
Yes.
and I can say that because I'm old now and you're young and I'm not. So I can say
Hardly.
we just love to see you, and we just love
No,
to see the
it's
kids and love to see all the excitement that you have about
Yeah.
the future.
It's
We
inspiring to me.
appreciate it.
It's inspiring to me to
Thank you
watch.
so much.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's inspiring to me to watch all of the young folks, you know, jumping into theater, and now you guys are going on to pursue this afterwards. I love it. It makes me want to do more.
And
Like I'm not doing enough already. Yes, go.
I will say the Omaha community has been like so supportive of us, and it's insane how many theater people are in Omaha. You really don't think about it until you hear about everyone.
Yeah.
And just sharing like our posters and everything for the senior showcase. I know Kylie can probably talk about this more, but she went to like Blackstone district to hang up stuff, and like the workers that were there were like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting, we need to like support our young artists. And it was just really like heart touching to hear that. So
it's nice to see.
Thank you to the Omaha community for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like Bratyon said, I actually help a lot with the marketing for Creighton's theater program, and especially obviously for my own showcase, I had to help too. So I was like I've been handing out posters to all different areas in the neighborhood, sending email blasts, social media stuff, things like that. And everyone in the community has been so supportive and so just welcoming us with open arms too. Nice. Like Bratyon said, I went around to the Blackstone district this week, and everyone took a poster, and I had so many people at different restaurants. I went to Cheeseburgers and I talked to all their employees, and they like were genuinely interested and like wanting to know about it. I went to Noli's, and this one woman she was like, oh, I hope you have mini flyers I can pass out. I'll tell all the customers we have to support our local young artists. And so nice. It's honestly, I texted all of them after that happened, and I was like, I am so happy, I'm going to cry. It's been really incredible getting the support from everyone, and just knowing that everyone is backing us. It's been, again, with COVID, the theater and college experience we had is something no other people will ever have. Right. And it's been correct. Wild.
Yes,
and
I can imagine.
To kind of have this as like a nice little ribbon on like the present that Creighton has given us, it's just been beautiful. And so, having you guys reach out and inviting us on the podcast, having those interactions with like the Blackstone employees, all the nice emails we've gotten from other like theater people in the area. It's just been really nice, and we've really appreciated it.
Oh, that's great. Well, and that's one of the reasons that we started the podcast, because we know that when you're doing a production, your life kind of stops. It's all about this thing that you're doing. Mm-hmm. And then it's like a wedding, and Aunt Bertha from New York comes, and you get to see her for 3 minutes while you got married, and then she flies back to New York and you go on your honeymoon. You don't get to see it. And it's the same way with a production. Like your life stops, and then it happens, and you get to do the production, and then it's over.
Yep.
And I feel like it's always good to talk about the experience, and we can learn from each other. And we hope that our podcast also lets people hear about what other challenges that they're having with the production, or how they worked around something, or even just learning about theater if you're just a butts and seats person, which I call BIS people, which is usually myself. I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of person. But that's why we started the podcast, because it's so hard to get the word out. And we feel like we want to be a place that people can be encouraged to continue to go to theater and be involved in theater. So absolutely. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, best of luck. We
break
are
all the legs.
Yes, all the legs, and good luck to you guys in the future. I can see all of the dreams in your eyes. The smiles on your faces, and best of luck to you. You'll do great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
The Musical Theater Senior Showcase will be April 28th and 29th at 7 p.m. at the Leeds Center for Performing Arts, main stage at Creighton, 24th and Cass. The seniors performing will be Bratyon Matuska, Kiley Melean, Evan Peterson, and Leticia Taveras. This production is free to attend. Donations encouraged for Alpha Psi Omega, Creighton University's Theater Honors Program.
Thank you for listening and supporting the arts in the Platte River area and beyond. Please subscribe to our podcast so you are sure to catch all of our future episodes, and join us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. See you next time on the Platte River Bard.